Now, I'm gonna put a clip here and I want you to watch it as to why chosen ones leave the military to get rich.
How much does the Marine Corps pay you every month?
As a Lance Corporal E3 in the Marine Corps, I get paid about $1,009 every 2 weeks, so about $2,018 every month.
And so if you just finished watching that clip, let me ask you a question. Hey, my friend, I'm sure you read the title and the thumbnail of this video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about and breaking down 3 reasons why chosen ones leave the military in order to get rich. And I know that some of you guys that are watching this video have a dream and desire to get rich and get wealthy. And in this video, I'm going to break it down, and I want you to stay to the end, because at the very end, I'm going to give you the 3rd reason why chosen ones leave the military to get rich. And I'm going to give you a breakdown as to why it's so important to take heed to what I'm going to break down at the end in that 3rd part. So if you're new to my channel, this is your first time watching me, let me just take a moment to welcome you and thank you for stopping by. I'm so grateful that you would choose to click on this video and watch it all the way to the end. For those of you that don't know who I am, I'm a 7-year Navy veteran turned full-time branding consultant, and I make videos like this to inspire you to do something very powerful and very impactful with your life. So thank you for stopping by, but without further ado, I'm gonna just go ahead and get this video started with point number 1. The number 1 reason why chosen ones leave the military, okay, to get rich, is because they want their time freedom. Okay, they want their time freedom. And when you're in the military, you don't have your time freedom. As much as you think you do, you don't. You have deployments, you have watch, you have underways, you have debts, you have duty. You have all these things that kind of take your time, and as much as you want to spend time doing the things you love doing, doing the things that would rather do, you can't. And the reason why you can't is because your obligation is to the military, it's to the branch of service you're in, it's to the command you're at. And I remember very vividly when I was deployed. If you guys have been on deployment, you know what I'm about to talk about. But I remember I was deployed in 2019, and I remember when I was out to sea, there was a captain that we had just got. His name was Captain Slaughter. He checked into our command, and I remember there were times when there was a dad that he congratulated over the 1MC for becoming a dad. You know, that sailor had a newborn that was about to be born, and so what happened was he would come on the 1MC, and he would say, congratulations, you know, EM3 Smith, for becoming the dad. So proud of you. Thank you for your service and your sacrifice to our country. I'm sure your family will be proud. And he would do that every so often. And as I'm hearing him say this, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, wait a minute. How come the dad isn't getting the opportunity to go home and be with their child being born? Like, that's not fun. That's crazy. And the thing about it was, most men actually don't get as much time off as the woman does when the child is about to be born. And I remember talking to my godparents and telling them, I said, you know what, I don't actually want to do 20 years, because in this time that I'm going to do 20 years, I want to have a family. Like, I want to have children. I want to be able to give my children the opportunity to see that I'm present, I'm there in their lives. And unfortunately, you can't really do that when you are out to sea and you're deployed, or you're on underways, or you're on debts. And it frustrated me. It frustrated me a lot. And I remember when I talked to my godparents about this the first time, they said, you know, that's not that serious of a reason. You know, sometimes you have to make sacrifices. But think about it like this. Do you really want to miss your child's first day at school, their first steps, their first words, their first opportunity to, you know, grow up? Like, no, I don't want to miss that. I know a lot of people don't want to miss it. That's the number 1 reason why chosen ones leave the military, so they can buy back their time, whether that's running a business, whether that's going the corporate ladder route, whether that may be going overseas and working overseas and having a remote life. They want to buy back their time. That's number 1. Number 2 is location freedom. Okay, location freedom. And you may be asking yourself, what do you mean when you say location freedom? Well, here's what I mean. When I was in the military, after I graduated and left A school, I checked into my first command, and I remember getting a call from my mom, and she says to me, "Hey, Ad, your dad just had a stroke." And I remember when she told me that my dad had a stroke, like my heart dropped. Like I'm like, "Are you serious?" And she was. She was very serious. And as I was listening to her talk about the condition of my dad, all I could think about is I'm not there. I'm not there with him. If God forbid he leaves this earth, he's gone. And I didn't get to say goodbye, and I wasn't able to be there. And as I was thinking about that, I said, I gotta get there. So what did I do? I go back to my command the next day. I let my chain of command know that my dad just had a stroke. I put in emergency leave. And I remember as I was getting ready to fly home, all I could think about was, what am I going to do and how am I going to react when I walk in that hospital and I see my dad? How am I going to respond to him being asleep? Because my dad was asleep because of his stroke for 29 hours straight. 29 hours straight. He did not wake up. And as I'm thinking about this, I said, man, I got to get in control of my emotions. I don't want to lose emotional self-control. And so long story short, I get to the hospital, I check in, and he was asleep. And I remember I only had 7 days of leave on the books because I just checked into my command at the time. And because I didn't have enough leave days on the books, I couldn't stay very long. And so as I'm staying and he's finally able to wake up and talk and know who I am and know all the things that's happening around him, I'm just so frustrated because I knew I had to leave. And I knew I wouldn't have enough time to really be there with him the way I really wanted to be there with him. And I thought to myself, how can I be here and really be able to be there for him presently if I'm so thinking about, man, I got to leave in 7 days. And I'm going to put the picture here on the screen. As he's learning how to walk again, I have to leave. I have to go back to my command because I would have had negative leave days on the books. And so what I'm saying to you is the reason why chosen ones leave the military to get rich is so that they can have location freedom. They can be wherever they want to be, whenever they want to be there, however long they want to be, with no one to answer to and no one telling them, hey, you got to come back to work. Hey, you don't have any more leave days on the books. Hey, you have to put in the special request shit. Hey, you got to. No, when you have location freedom, you could be wherever you want to be with whoever you want to be with, however long you want to stay, and you have no one to answer to. Which leads me to the third and final reason why chosen ones leave the military. It's financial freedom. Financial freedom, as you can see, look at the houses around me. Look at the view. This is in part what financial freedom looks like. Today, I'm able to make videos like this. I don't have a job. I'm not clocking in anywhere. I don't have a boss. I don't have a set schedule. Yes, I work as a consultant, but the reason why chosen ones leave the military to get rich is because they really desire financial freedom. Do you think that's enough money sufficiently to live off of? Do you really believe that if a person that's in the military can sustain a decent, I'm not even going to talk about comfortable, I'm just saying a decent lifestyle if they're making that kind of money? The answer is probably no, right? And so I remember when I checked into my first command and I was struggling financially. I had no money. I had to go to Navy Marine Corps Relief Society to get a grant because I was actually staying in a hotel. Whether you believe it or not, like I actually had to check into the Hilton Garden Inn, and that's where I was staying because I had nowhere else to go. I checked into my command that didn't have any barracks. It wasn't on a ship, and I had to get BAH and all the other stuff. And so I'm thinking to myself, like, what is going to happen to me if I have no other where to go, nowhere else to go, and I have no money? And so I remember the reason why after my dad had a stroke, the reason why I said to myself, I'm getting out because I desire to get rich and I want to buy back my time and I want to have location freedom and I want to have financial freedom is because every single month I have more month than money. Do you know what I'm talking about? You ever had that feeling of needing to eat, wanting to get something to drink, wanting to have just the essentials, and you just so broke you can't, that sucks. Being broke sucks. And most people that are junior sailors like I was, and probably like those of you that are watching, or maybe you got out, you know what I'm talking about. Living in the barracks, being poor, that sucks. Nobody wants to be poor, especially when you're serving the military. You would think that they would pay you a little bit more sufficiently, but the case is that's not the case. And so if you're watching this video, I urge you to understand those 3 reasons compel chosen ones to leave the military to get rich. It's because they desire to have that financial freedom. They desire to have that location freedom. They desire to have that time freedom. And so if you're a chosen one, you left the military, whether you believe it or not, because of those 3 reasons. Because you know that if you want the things that you desire for in this life, you're not going to get them in the military, because again, you have that priority commitment, which is the military. And I'm going to put a scripture here on the screen where it says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So you can't have 1 foot in the military, 1 foot out. You can't have 1 foot in your business and 1 foot out. You can't have 1 foot in your side hustle and 1 foot out. It's either you're all in or you aren't. And so I urge you that if you watched it and made it to the end of this video, that you found it helpful, and that I imparted some form of wisdom into your life. Because again, at this time and at this juncture in your life, if you're a chosen one that left the military, you are on the path that very few forge. And I'll leave you with this quote before I wrap up. There's a saying that says this: there is no traffic on the extra mile. Let me repeat what I just said. There is no traffic on the extra mile. And so you're going the extra mile in your business. You're going the extra mile with your e-com store. You're going the extra mile with your consulting agency. You're going the extra mile with your YouTube channel. You're going the extra mile with your lawn care service. Whatever it is you're working towards or you're working for, I want you to believe that the sacrifices that you're making are worth it. Okay? And so if you enjoyed this video, I urge you that you just hit the like button, that you subscribe to my channel for more great content like this that is coming very, very soon, and that you leave a comment down below letting me know maybe something that I may have missed in this video that you want me to cover in the next video. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. Thank you so much for watching, and again, I hope you have a blessed day, and I hope this message encourages you. I'll check in the next one.